Hi there, I'm Fox 26 meteorologist Kris Kuyper, and I hope you're enjoying the start to the holiday season. Maybe you're taking a break for the Christmas shopping or such. Probably foggy or wherever you are, because it's been foggy throughout the entire San Joaquin Valley here for a while, and it looks like it's going to continue to be foggy for a while. Also, I was out at the Columbus City Christmas tree lighting there on Monday, and a little foggy out there. Fresno lit their Christmas tree on Tuesday, a little foggy out there as well, and it's been foggy here for a while. And boy, we took a glance at the 10-day forecast, and no surprise here, more fog in the forecast. It's going to be staying foggy here for quite a while. The rainy weather that we had to begin our rain season with, and we got a lot of rain out there, has finally shut off, and boy, we've transitioned from the rain to the fog, and lots of fog out there across much of the Central Valley of California. Let me show you the fog here from the satellite perspective, and you can see it here in the Central Valley of California, the San Joaquin Valley, the Sacramento Valley. Both valleys souped in the fog from sunrise to sunset, and that's going to be a pattern we're going to be seeing quite a bit of here going forward, it looks like, at least for the next week or so. Kind of always fun to take a vantage point from the top, and you see the fog layer as you look down on it. And this is from Bear Mountain here, just outside of Fresno. And notice the fog just kind of surging on in for a while, and then it takes a little pause. It'll come back out for a little bit here. Actually, this one seems to be surging on in here for a bit. And then let's remind us later on that one. Here's another one. This is from Paleto Peak, I believe. This is in Kern County, and this is just showing the fog here off in the distance. And notice it just kind of fading out for a little bit, and then it kind of surges back on in, and then it kind of fade back out, kind of like waves on a lake or so. One of the first things they teach you when you go into meteorology is treat the atmosphere like a fluid. And there it is in action there. It's just like a fluid, like a lake, like a small pond out there, just the ebbs and the flows of the fog here in the San Joaquin Valley. This is a look, where's this one? This one's, from Mount Adelaide. This is also in Kern County, and just looking down on the fog. And notice how it's just a flat top here, which you can really see here from this point. Notice just a flat top. That's the top of the inversion layer. That's where the temperature is actually rising as you climb in altitude. And so that puts a nice little lid on all this fog and just kind of traps it down in the valley. Now, what the heck is that? I was looking at that, a little bubbling boil of whatever you want to call it there. That is a power plant at the base of the Grapevine, not far from the Edmonston pumping plant, where the Edmonston pumping plant is where they pump the water for the California Aqueduct open over the Tehachapi Mountains. But this is a gas-burning power plant, and so what we have there is this little combustion going on, and so we're seeing the heat from that combustion breaking over the top of that cap of that inversion and punching over the top a little bit, creating that like little boiling effect there, kind of like you're boiling a pot of water there on your stovetop or so. And again, notice just the ebbs and the flows and the surges of the fog as it continues through the southern San Joaquin Valley through the course of our Friday afternoon. Okay, now let's go back to the weather computer here, and let me show you what we have coming up ahead for us. And a little breakdown real quick on radiation fog. And there are two types of fog. The kind of fog you see on the California coastline in the summer, the June gloom, that's called advection fog. That's not what we have. We have what's called radiation fog, and not like nuclear radiation or anything like that. It's the sun's energy radiating away from the earth and cooling things down, and we get the fog forming because of it. We have to have the long, clear nights. We're in December now. It doesn't get a whole lot longer than that as far as our nights are concerned. I have to have moist ground, just moisture in the air. We've had a very wet October and November, tons of rain for us. And so the ground is practically saturated, and there's still ponds of water out there. So check, we have both those ingredients in place. Once we cool things down with the clear skies at night, that allows the temperatures to cool down to the dew point, and then it has nowhere else to go. So it squeezes out in the form of fog, and we get that thick fog here right on the valley floor there through the course of the nighttime and the morning as well. Again, speaking of our wet start to our winter, December has been kind of dry for us, but that's okay. We're doing good because October and November were very wet. We're still way above normal for this time of the year, sitting about 4 inches of rain on the rain season. Normally, we're about 1.65 inches of rain for this time of the year in Fresno, so we're 245% of normal. So even though it's been a dry start to December, and it looks like it's going to be dry for a while, we're still doing really well as far as the rain season goes. For the next week, even a little bit more, all the way through the following Monday here, so that's at least a week out there. So still going to be dry here in the San Joaquin Valley. So if it's going to be dry, if it's going to be clear out there, yeah, the recipe for fog is in our forecast. Looking at some of the numbers there, I was wondering, is this a really foggy start to the year for us? Not really, but one thing I did notice is that in the past 30 years, the average number of fog days in Fresno per year has really dropped. The past 30 years, there between 2023 and 24 and 1994-95, we've been averaging about 24 foggy, really dense fog days per year. And a dense fog day is where the visibility at Fresno Yosemite International Airport gets knocked down to a quarter mile or less. the previous 30 years there. Before that, 1993 to 94 to 1964 and 65, we were averaging 40 days of that thick, dense fog in Fresno. Not really sure the reason why, but I thought that really stood. That's a big difference there, going from 40 days per year of thick fog to only 24. I might be trying to raise that average here this year because certainly it seems like we've got some good fog in our forecast. And as of Friday evening, this is also a little bit interesting, we're in the 40s. And we've been in the 40s for 86 consecutive hours at Fresno Yosemite Airport. And continuing, that's as of 9 o'clock Friday evening, December 5th. And it looks like we could continue it for a while. And boy, you look at the 10-day forecast, and it looks like we might continue it here for a long while. Boy, look at those high temperatures in the 40s, those low temperatures in the 40s. Now, we all know it's possible the weatherman could be off by a degree or two here or there, but assuming everything goes right, boy, we may break the record for consecutive days of consecutive hours of temperatures in the 40s for Fresno, which right now stands at 187 hours. We're at a little over 80 hours right now so far, but so we may break it if we continue the streak here. We will be tracking that, and we'll see how it pans out through the weekend and into next week. But for the most part, our forecast including a lot more of the same, maybe a little bit of afternoon sunshine this weekend, but not much as we get into next week, as it looks like the gloom and the fog is going to be sticking around.